Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, Replica Jason Voorhees Mask. Spot picked this up like he's picked up other masks previous from the folks over at Fiberglass Masks. I'll put the information down below if you are looking for an authentic reproduction of the Jason Voorhees masks from the very first entry of Part 3 all the way down to the remake of Jason Voorhees, or Friday the 13th. Fiberglass masks have replica masks of all of them. This was worn originally by Ted White, a stuntman who was Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 4. One of my personal favorite Friday the 13th movies, I have to admit. The mask here is represented in, well, it's somewhat a carryover from Friday the 13th Part 3, except for you'll notice some indications of slight weathering. The chevrons or markings on the front there have been slightly worn away, as equally said for the side chevron decals there as well. Probably the biggest notable inclusion of the Part 4 mask is the big Axe Gash that's in the top of the mask itself. Now, with fiberglassmasks.com, not only can you get Part 4 Jason masks, for example, but you can get Jason masks as they appear throughout the movie. And even what they've done is, when you go and select the mask that you want to get, they'll tell you kind of scene-specific what type of mask that is. So, for example, I wanted to pick up a Friday the 13th Part 4 mask, because, again, I've always been one of my personal favorites of the Friday movies was Part 4. But I wanted to get a Jason mask, not necessarily that just had the gash in it. So I opted to get the Jason mask pretty much near the beginning of the movie until the mask gets wet from the rainfall and a lot of the blood wears away. So like this is like early entry Jason Voorhees mask, basically when he's first picked up by the morgue, or he's first picked up and brought to the morgue, where he's got the big gash in his head, or in the gash in the head and the mask, and he's got the big inclusion of this bloodied residual left from the gash in his head. So even the mask itself has all this dark crimson red blood that's been smeared all around the area of the big area where the axe would have sunk itself in. And if you look at this mask and you kind of look at screenshots of the movie, it's pretty authentic. Right down to the little blood that's trickled down the inner area of the eye socket. Some blood areas are actually around the mouth area where the holes where obviously the actor Ted White or Jason Voorhees would have been breathing through. It's pretty authentic. If you don't want necessarily one that has the blood on it, he does also have ones with the gash, and simply just the blood is not on there. So I might eventually pick up a Friday the 13th Part 4 mask that doesn't necessarily have the blood on it, but I do think it separates enough from itself from the Part 3 mask, which I already own. Of course, the chevrons are more intact on the Part 3, but I think the blood kind of just also makes it look very different than the Part 3 mask. Flip around the back of the mask. It is fiberglass. On the inside, you've got fiberglassmasks.com, so you know it's actually an official fiberglass mask. You can see some of the red residual on the inside. Now with the strapping is an elasticized strap with a buckle adjustment on the top there. You can essentially wear it if you so wished, which I have to admit I probably have put a couple of these masks on from time to time. But the overall wearing is pretty authentic. The darker recessed shading around the eye area just to kind of make the eyes stand out. A lot of these props back in the day would have been a clear mask that they would have painted over. Some scratches there on the sides also. Again, I love that little trickle of blood down the side of the eye. And the unused snaps on the sides also of the hockey mask. Even the chevron themselves, like the one at the top there, it has the outline of where the chevron or sticker would have been, the actual decal of the mask would have been, and as you can see, it just simply has been worn off. This is, I'm trying to think of actually how many masks I own now. I picked up another 3, so we're going to be having a look at them over the next couple of videos. Counting this one, I have part 3, part 4, part 5, I've also picked up part 6, which we'll have a look at in another video. Part 7. Part 8, which we've already had a look at. I guess I still have to pick up part 9. Jason Goes to Hell. Jason X, he has both the regular Jason mask that he wears, which I'm not a fan of that mask because it has a very flat front mouth to it. He also has Uber Jason. I also picked up the remake Jason mask, which we will be having a look at in a separate video as well. One of, though, my personal favorite hockey masks from one of my personal favorite Jason Voorhees movies. Today, we were having a look at the Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, Jason Voorhees Replica Mask from the folks over at Fiberglass Masks. I'll put the information again down below if you guys are interested in picking these up. Also, too, he has a selection of, which we've already had a look at, a Casey Jones original 1990s replica mask, which was so very cool. He even has the new updated Scream mask, which I want to eventually get. And also, excuse me, he also has the Mighty Ducks duck mask, which I think would be kind of fun to pick up as well. So he has lots of different masks. Today, though, we were having a look at the Friday the 13th Part 4, and I guess this would be the Bloodied Variant mask, although that's not actually what it's called, but I'll probably put the actual name of the mask that, if you are picking up on the website, that's the name of the mask that you'd want to pick up. But today we're having a look at the Friday the 13th Part 4 mask. Certainly stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have the reviews of a couple of other replica masks heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.